What are you? You haven't figured it out yet. I am the warrior you've heard of in legends. Pure of heart and awakened by fury. That's what I...
All right, what is going on, everybody? Super Saiyan Paul here. Today we're gonna be covering Dragon Ball Super Chapter 84 of the manga. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell icon. As always, we're gonna be covering each panel individually. I've already shown you guys some of the spoilers that have come out earlier, so we're gonna really delve into this. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts, opinions, what I think is gonna happen afterwards. I also want you guys to comment down below with what you guys think is gonna happen and how you guys feel about this particular arc. Hold on, let me turn this light midway. There we go. So, without further ado, so from Bardock's Scouter, as you guys can see here, the data audio ends here. We just saw that happen, like, after every spoiler. So he says Bardock left this planet as soon as he was on his feet again, and he said only his Scouter was left behind, says Minato. So right here, a panel of Goku, and then him in the Saiyan pod, or the chamber, when he was a baby, the incubator. And right here, you could see him just open his eyes briefly. Bardock's battle damaged and wounded, but this is still stored in his grown-up memories. And you see Bardock reach over to the pod and put his hand over it. So we're gonna see this, then he goes right back to sleep. He's going to whatever mission's out on in this one, and he got Gine and Raditz, little Raditz right there. And over here you see some more of Gine, and then him going back to sleep, and then another moment where he wakes up and he's outside of the pod, and right here is when they're transporting him. We've seen this in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, where they put him into the pod right before the planet's about to be destroyed by Frieza, and as they're saying goodbye, he's wearing the Saiyan armor, both of his parents just crying out, and they sent him off. Now, he says, Vegeta, I finally understand what Saiyan Pride is about. Or rather, I remember what it was about all along by seeing my dad's face. And the thing is, I haven't had total faith in my power. So from the entirety of all of Dragon Ball Z, and up to now in Super, he hasn't had total faith in this power, which is okay, I guess. Vegeta says, I've lost sight of it as well. My burden is not the sins of all the Saiyans, but our people's pride. So this is giving major flashbacks to Dragon Ball Z's arc with Majin Buu. There's one thing a Saiyan always keeps, that moment. And during this arc, you saw Vegeta being very, very resentful for it and seeing a lot of the flashbacks as to what the Saiyans have done here. So let me know what you guys feel about this. It's like a total callback to Majin Vegeta, but in a more controlled state in the Ultra Ego form. That's what I feel like they're trying to do here. I'm going to get into that in a second, though. So he says, why does it have to be your father of all people who helped me realize this? And then Goku laughs at him and he says, to think that you and Raditz survived when you were young because of a wish on the Dragon Balls. That's not fair, bros. Give me a break. It's like, yo, all of Dragon Ball, and all, like I said, all the way up into the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z, these guys are protected by plot armor because Bardock has said he wished his sons like good luck and good faith and that they have a very fruitful life. And that's the thing, plot armor instinct is a real thing because all of Dragon Ball protected. Until these two forces clashed is when they died. So he says, wishing for you to thrive and all, whoever such pampered Saiyans. But, I mean, this dude's the prince of all Saiyans, and he was pampered too, technically. And he says, what about the way you pamper and spoil Bra, huh? So he's taking shots at his daughter, and then he says, one thing has nothing to do with the other. So after this, he's like, Bardock, what a funny way for your will to be passed down. So this is Bardock's will these two are about to start flying off with. And he says, a people's pride, aka the chapter's name, isn't about atoning for sins of the past, and it isn't about taking revenge. Subs at Granola. It's all about accepting your nature and sticking to your convictions. Okay, I like this part. For once, Minato has some kind of revelation here, finally. The Dragon Ball Z announcer is getting his job replaced for like a second here. And that's true of any tribe out there. So some wisdom from the Namekian. Over here, you two. Let me patch you up a bit before Gas gets back. They say, thank you. Vegeta actually says thank you. He says, yeah, thanks again. Throw back to it. Dende refused to heal this man. But first, your clothes. So he puts them into Saiyan armor. So he says, huh? Could I just have my original outfit back? Literally right away. He says, I can't get used to this jacket, which is wild because, I mean, this is what he showed up in. He says, what? You don't want to dress how Bardock once did? And he was like, nah. So you see Gas flustered flying through space. He says, found you. Kind of like Super Boo when he's about to absorb somebody in the Budokai games is what I hear. He's flying right through the place. He lands like a badass. His face almost face plants low key with some force there. And all of them, they're already changed back into the outfits. He's outside of Minaito's house and he shows up. The walrus has landed. So he says, get out here, Saiyans. And then all of a sudden he says, Oil says, yo, Maki, Gas is back. I don't know why, whenever I hear him talk, For some reason, I hear Raccoon, "Hey, yo, Maki, gas is back," or something like, "You do well. Is that the hut?" So Maki says, "Ooh, sooner than we thought." And Elec is pointing somebody out here. "Now what, Elec? Let's move the ship over that way, but only within view of the battle, not too close. Hey there, brother, how are you feeling?" So he's talking to Gas. He says, "I'm feeling just like I wasted too much time. Like I just wasted too much time. Tell Elec I'll be finished here shortly." He says, "Okay, good luck. We'll have a tasty meal waiting for you." So he's pissed. They really stressed him out. You see these two coming out of the shadows here, walking ready for battle. It looks pretty badass. So this entrance scene is probably one of the best, most badass panels in this. They show up to the scene. "I assumed you would have run off by now." He says, "It's you and your gang that need to leave. Leave? We plan to, as soon as we slaughtered the two of you." And he says, "I want to defeat this one, even if it kills me. How about you?" He says, "Well, I'm not letting you have all the fun." He says, "Fine, we'll fight together then." So the two of them power up. He says, "I'll be the one to end this, not on my watch." And this is probably the most iconic panel in this entire chapter. Look at this. This goes hard. This is cold. This is extremely cold. They power up. Goku looking fierce as ever. Majin Vegeta looking like to me because of this outfit, but the eyes, the outshadows, and then the ASS3 eyebrows, freaky face mode, ultra ego, ultra instinct. They power up with this insane aura. You can kind of feel it and kind of hear it. You know that when you can hear Dragon Ball sound effects, and even he's like, "What? Yikes," is what they say. And it's like it's powering up in the Broly movie. Remember Broly created like a pillar of energy? Low key, it looks exactly like that. I want to see what color this is because you got purple and then you got Ultra Instinct's kind of like grayish color, so or bluish color from that aura. So I want to see how this eventually gets colored in. And they're saying, what sort of forms are they using now? That guy is using super duper instinct, and Vegeta's got his massive ego boost. And she's like I give a crap about the names. I'm asking if they're strong or not. So this right here, it's like some goofy goober writing. I don't know why I feel like that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, for sure, real strong. You intend to face me together? Saiyans are mindless as ever. You still fail to comprehend that such a strategy will not matter given the gulf between us. It's got nothing to do with the odds of our victory," says Vegeta. "What drives us now is the sheer desire to win." And look at that, he has a smile on his face. They're ready to beat his ass. The sheer desire to win, and they rush in. Look at this, another iconic panel where they're just rushing right into battle, flying head on into Gas. Vegeta up top, Goku down below. They're flying in like this, and then Goku goes for a punch, blocked. Punch, block. Kicked, blocked. And they just go back and forth at it. These are some really, really epic panels. Because as you guys can see, this battle is going to go super fast. I can't wait to see when it's animated because this is just going to go like this, like that, nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. I really hope they pour a ton of budget into this episode. It will be really, really crazy. I'm expecting like top tier animation. There's that moment where Moro absorbed when he absorbs Maris's power and he goes Ultra Instinct for that moment and they're going to have that battle. That should be top level animation in this part too. I'm hoping they pour a lot of budget into those fights. How fast he's got to move. So he says, "Yeah, about what I expected." He shrugs them both off and then they go for another one. And as you guys can see, they're both attacking from every angle. Gas is actually able to dodge all these punches, kicks from every attack. He's jumping up into the air. Goku's down here at the same exact time. It's a tag team battle against Gas and he's just dodging everything. And these are the strongest these guys have been thus far. So Goku goes up, tries to hit him, gets blocked, and they're just following him, punching him left, right, and center. Nothing is really connecting, but you can see he's a little bit distressed here. It's starting to catch up with him, but it's not really there. He gets Vegeta right here with his own fist, sends him flying, kicks Goku across the face, and both of them land. So both of them are starting to get a little bit frustrated, but they're still going head on, rushing back into it nonstop. Look at that. Again, same exact formation, and they're just chasing him around. He's backflipping, he's dodging, he's weaving, and he ends up blasting at them. They jump out of the way into the sky. When they jump into the sky, you got Gallic Gun and Kamehameha in this instant, and they blast at him, both of them blasting him, but it intersects. He dodges out of the way, comes up behind them with the mace, tries to slap him with it. He actually hits Vegeta with it, and you see him go crashing down into the ground, and then he tries to take a swipe at Goku. Goku dodges it, and then, since he sees that Goku's dodging it, he throws it away. He says, "Why, you?" and just goes in for the kick, kicks Goku all the way into the ground with his foot into his stomach, kind of giving me some Raditz vibes where Raditz was stomping on him. He says, "Don't get cocky, you pathetic monkeys." Like straight out of Frieza's dialogue right there. And he says, "Move aside, Kakarot. This is a god of destruction move, one capable of erasing mere mortals." So similar to the way Goku launched the Spirit Bomb at Kid Buu, he's telling him, "Get out of the way. We're gonna use this, and he ain't gonna be able to dodge it. So if you truly are the universe's strongest, then try standing up to this." So he blasts it. Goku immediately sees that, instant transmits out of the way. He says, "I observe as I deflect your worthless move." So he pulls out a shield, starts blocking it, and he's like, "Ugh." And then Vegeta's charging all this power into it, and then Goku like instant transmits right next to him and helps power it up and thrust it right at the enemy. You guys can see him pushing and pushing. The shield is actually crackling here, and he's still blocking it. And what happens is they're asking, is he gonna be okay? Gas is losing ground to them. They'd already used those transformations, right, Oil? And then they're like, yeah, I saw both of those forms when they were duking out with Granola. Then Elec reveals he's fine because the wish that made him stronger came after that. So that makes sense. And he's like, he can still win this. Relax. I assume that they might team up against him. So as the strongest in the universe, Gas is outclasses Granola. And he says, just watch. So they're pushing this Hakai right at him, this Hakai ball. And then all of a sudden, he's pushing it right back even after the shield disintegrates. That's how strong he is. It's going right back. Goku says, we're getting pushed back. He's like, damn it. It's no use. So he jumps out of the way, and like from the Cooler movie, he was like, nah, we out. He's like, Vegeta, come on. So he's like, you're on your own with this one. And Goku and his Ultra Instinct ability has to thrust this off as well. Vegeta goes fighting right back into his face, goes in for the attack, gets kicked in the stomach, and as you guys can see, like, yo, it's hitting him. And then he grabs him by the hair again and just kicks him again, bashes him again. And then he flies into the floor. He says, what's wrong, Saiyan? Losing too much blood? Do you still think you can win? He said, why wouldn't I? So he's still going. He's still going. You can see the earring right there just to show the full ferocity, the full. He says, save your prattle for the afterlife. So he's about to kill him. And Goku's holding the blast back all the way back. You can see it like pushing him against the floor right towards the city. And in the last second, you can see him just flings it up into the sky right above everything else. And then Goku, as soon as that's finished, just instant transmits right over to Vegeta. Vegeta gets up and actually smacks Gas in the face. And he's like, oh? He's like, you worm, what trick is this? He's like, how is your body still moving? Damage is nothing but fuel for me. And he says, did you realize what that means? I'm only getting stronger. To be continued. So right there is where we leave off. Now, this was a really, really epic fight. I love this fight. The thing is, though, and a lot of people have been mixed about this, is that the same thing that they did with Vegeta first getting Ultra Ego, they regressed on this immediately after, because as soon as they said the same exact thing before against Granola, damage is nothing but fuel for me, couple panels later, oh, I've taken too much damage. I can't beat Granola. So is this going to be taken back a step again? And also, what a lot of fans are saying is, if Vegeta does not win this fight, if Vegeta doesn't have a major role here, because as you can see, Goku looks pretty fresh right now, and that was a scene that gave both of them their sane will to fight, and it does look like Goku still has some more to go, and Vegeta's taking the most damage. If it really is truly giving him the fuel, Vegeta gotta take the win here. Otherwise, Ultra Ego was introduced for really what reason in this entirety of this part of the arc, you know what I mean? It has to get a dub, or otherwise, all of this is thrown to nothing. It is literally thrown to nothing. So let me know what you guys think about that. What do you feel about Ultra Ego? Do you think he's going to get the upper hand on Gas? And Gas is still standing. He got a hit on him, but it's still, after all of that, they threw all their best attacks at full force, absolutely fresh, and still cannot defeat him, even with all the Saiyan fight and the pride. And they're still fighting to win, but it seems like Goku got some more in the tank here. He's still fresh, no damage. And then Vegeta, even though he's saying damage fuels him, I can't entirely believe that because of the inconsistent writing. So, like I said, I still give this chapter a 9 because I like the flashback. I like how it tied everything up. It's giving me Broly movie vibes of just going from the past, talking about that, adding some character to it, and then going right towards this insane battle. This is an insane battle. I would give it at least a 9 out of 10. Really fast paced. I'm hoping the budget is absolutely insane because I expect this to be like just a 1 episode thing. I feel like it should be. Like this fight, absolutely can't wait till this comes out and it's animated in a couple years, if anything. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell icon. Gas isn't even in full power, so what do you guys think they're gonna have to whip out to beat him? Because if Ultra Ego hasn't been maxed out, if Ultra Instinct hasn't been maxed out, we're gonna have to see another level of power, and you could already see that they're wavering in terms of strength. They threw out their best attacks and it's still not working. So what's gonna be next? Is it going to be Gogeta? A lot of people are saying it's gonna take away from the fight if they use Gogeta, including me. I would say that too, because I like the fact that they decided to do this one kind of solo, but tag team in a sense. It's like they have their own ways of fighting at the same time. If you bring out Gogeta needs to take some battle damage and get pushed to his limit. He can't do what he did in the Broly movie, where it's just I show up and I mean business and I get no scratches on me whatsoever and I take him out. Same thing with when they use Vegito. Yes, they beat the shit out of Zamasu. That's still not good enough. You got to make sure that it's to the point where Gogeta has some reason for Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct to have been mastered, whether they fuse the hair together or not. And then Gogeta would have to just actually take damage and match gas, because if he's really this strong, which is insanely strong, it's got to be something else, or another factor may come into play. So clearly not all the cards are on the table. This was a great fight, but there's still something else more to happen here. And Elec still is super confident in his brother because of the wish being used after these guys were at peak power, and it shows. So I really want to see what he's up to here, because he's still being super ominous about it, super cocky, super confident. And even with all the Saiyan pride, even with knowing that Bardock had beaten this guy years ago, these two stand here now in the realm of gods, still unable to beat Gas. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell icon. We'll see you guys in the next video as we discuss this. I love y'all. Take care. Stay safe. Peace out, everybody. Young Money, baby.